Hello there, this is Beth, and this is the full moon reading for July. Full moon energies. It's been kind of very intensely solar lately, I think. Very intensely solar. And I don't think there's been a lot of solar flares or anything like that, but ever since about sometime about the solstice, and it's still going on, things have just been intensely solar. Very strong solar energy, sun energy is cropping out. So kind of keep that in mind as you go through your life, especially if you're feeling a little heated and you're hot and you're tired and you're cranky. And I do mean hot in many, like physical, emotional, or even energetically. How can you cool yourself down? Do you need to sit down and do some Tali breath? Practice a cooling yoga practice as opposed to do something that's more active. I know right now I've been focusing on kind of a shorter practice. It's been hot here in the MT and without air conditioning, by the time I'm doing my yoga practice, it's warm in here, and it's been warm in the mornings too, although not as bad as some places. It hasn't been like 80. It'd be like Salt Lake and be 8 in the morning, it's 80 degrees out here, just like, oh, melting. Not that bad. But there's a lot of solar energy, so just be aware of that. Be aware of the heat. Be aware of being a prickly little kitty cat, and see where that takes you. You can always book a full moon reading or a different reading if you want. Links are below. I would love to do one for you. And yeah, the thing with my readings is I try to make them super interactive. So you just don't read it and toss it over your shoulder and you're done with it. There's thought prompts. Sometimes there's meditations depending on what's going on in your life. I try to make it more interactive. And part of the reason why I do the PDF readings as opposed to, say, video or Skype is the comment I get the most is, I reread. I reread your readings. And sometimes those readings they're rereading are like from a year ago. And they're like, well, still getting stuff out of them. I always tell people they're about 3 to 6 months, unless you're getting something like Get Crystal, which is geared at a year. I'm looking at a year's worth of energy for you. But there's something, it's like, don't throw away your tarot readings. Go back over them and see what happens. And see where they're talking to you. Because I know my people who reread them are some of the people who do some of the most glorious change in their life. And I see them go from this place where they're like, into new modalities and into new paradigms, and watching their energies change when I do other readings for them. It's so exciting to see that with you guys when that happens. So if you feel like you want a personalized reading, please book one down below. I would love to do one for you. This month we are using the Fallen Angels Oracle. And I think I pulled, no, that's affirmation cards. I pulled the Aquarian Tarot. It kind of just popped into my head, these two together this month. So that's what we're using. But this card popped out while I was talking to you. So we're going to go for this one because it's obviously got some juice for us. Vipar, illusion. How are we using this in our life? How are we using illusions? How are they appearing? And it can be very personal, or it cannot be personal. Where are they appearing? And how are you dealing with them? Are you just letting them in and being like, oh, it's an illusion, and not really doing much with it, and just being like, I can't break through illusion. It's an illusion, so I can't do anything. It's just illusion. And you're like, and you don't do anything. What if you break through that illusion? What if you break through and see what is on the other side of Vipar? How can she help you see what you really need to see through the veils that are in front of you? Yeah, this is the time that you get your noodle out, that brain fired up, and think. Do some thinking. How is this illusion showing up? What part of that illusion can be used? How can you put the illusion to work also comes to mind. Because just because something's You know, it's kind of interesting because we use illusion for something that's kind of not real, kind of a fantasy, you know, an elusive, an evasive. And it's also elusive, which is, it means more evasive. So what, you know, it's also kind of what's evading you. There's a couple layers, I think, going on with this card, and one is kind of that illusion of, I think it's this, and I can't get past thinking it's that. And breaking through that, and what's beyond that is feeling elusive to us, and it's kind of hard to get into it. And that's what Viper is here. She's like, yeah, I'm going to help you blow that door open. I'm going to help you see through that door. Whether it blows open or it just dissolves in front of you. And there's what you need. So be really aware of what's going on and how you're using illusion, and if things are being elusive for you, how can you make them more concrete? How can you make doors open by themselves? How can you make things dissolve that are in your way? It does not feel like a card of force. She's not like a forceful fallen angel. Some of them are very like, argh, and she's just kind of, she's got a very subtle feel to her right now. And we need to use that subtle to break through our elusive illusions. So let's find out what the Aquarian Tarot has to say for us today. And if you're ever looking for support, whether on spirituality or how to do things, the Heartlight Transmission group, it used to be the Norden Metamorphosis group, just recently changed it because it's evolved beyond what it started as. But a really great place to come get support, really wonderful people in the group. And you know, we do all sorts of things, and there's some questions and answers. There's a class going on called Walking the World's Chakra Expansion. You can get in on that for free right now, as opposed to when it goes live next year. Let's pick cards. Three of Pentacles. Ooh, Two of Swords. A lot of times I have these picked out, but today I don't. I don't know why. Am I a weirdo? Because I really like the Two of Swords. It's one of those cards I have. I like the swords. They can be the Debbie Downers of the tarot deck, but there's something about them. There's a beauty that comes from, I have like this ear that won't pop, so I could go, that's what I'm doing. I want my jaw to pop. It's this weird thing, but yeah, I think I might have a little TMJ. I used to do it on this side when I lived in Salt Lake, I was in my 20s, late 20s, and this side would pop. Now I switched to this side, and it hasn't wanted to pop today, so it's driving me a little bonkers. But if you need any spiritual support, stuff like that, please join us in the Heartlight Transmission group. We do all sorts of crazy fun stuff, and it's a fun place to come hang out. Three of Pentacles. We're doing our work. We're building our bases. We're getting it on. We're working with Viper to figure out what we're seeing wrong and what we're seeing right. So we got things going. I feel like this is not a trap. I feel like this is a stepping stone, especially when we pair Viper with the Three of Pentacles. We're stepping out of places that, what we thought was elusive. And I think we kind of don't need to drop that mindset of the elusive illusion to do our work and just be like, okay, keep going. Not sure where it's going, but I'm just going to just keep on chugging along. Keep on building my bases. Keep on building my tripods and my triangles, Get that done. And get a good base. And you got a choice. You got a choice here with this. You can build your base or you don't have to. You can stay where you are. There's always a choice, people. There's always a choice to stay with the elusive illusion that we're currently experiencing. There's always the choice. But do you want to stay there? Do you truly want to stay there? And I think that's kind of, Viper's here to support, and we got to do our work, and we got to make our choices. There's only so much delay that you can put into not making the choices. And sometimes they're little choices. To cook dinner or not to cook dinner? What's dinner gonna be? Do I paint my toes today or do I not? Sometimes those choices are tiny, tiny, tiny choices. And we need to remember that tiny choices also matter. So don't get caught up in like thinking, oh my God, I just gotta deal with the whole big picture of Vapor and this elusive illusion that's plaguing me, and I'm trying to do my work, and oh, but I gotta make these, and then you like short circuit, and your hair's standing on end. I was talking about hair energetics in the weekly Hello for the Walking the World class in the Heartlight group, because it's come up several times, and I just thought of it again as like had this picture of someone's hair standing on end, of the energetics of hair and how that affects our lives, and like washing or not washing your hair to hold on to energy or to cleanse your hair of energy. So that's kind of been something I've been pondering this week, since it's come up twice in two different very separate aspects. It's kind of interesting how that happened. But I digress. Not unusual though. It's probably the way you watch me. So you got, it's like, where are your choices? Small choices count. It doesn't have to be dealt with like the whole thing. Taking a choice to self-nurture, a choice to truly bring in a nurturing aspect of self-care, bringing true self-care that, beyond. And I am a big believer in the mani-pedi self-care to a certain extent. There are times where self-care is even more basic. Brush your teeth. You got a choice. Brush your teeth. That small step can be something that takes you out of elusive illusion. Lets you do that work you need to do. So there's, it's kind of an interesting reading. It's like, how can you get beyond what you feel is eluding you? What's your illusion today? How can you do the work to get there and make the choices to stay there or get out of it? If I stay there, I didn't mean like stay in elusive, or stay where you want to stay, I guess. Get to where you're going. Make the choices. And you don't gotta know where you're going. That's why we got our blindfold on. We can just make our choice, and we can just keep moving in the direction we think. This direction looks good. This direction resonates with my heart. This direction feels good to me. Go in that direction. You do not have to have the perfect path. The perfect path is created by acting and by doing all this stuff. So don't get too caught up in things, people. Don't be stuck in that it's not perfect. Is it the right path? Who the hell knows? It could change in 10 years. You could be like, oh my God, I just not resonate with something anymore. Or your path could morph. I think when we get too caught up, is this the right path for me? We lose the aspect of metamorphosis and of being able to have more of a mutable spirituality. Okay, let's pick an affirmation card. And handmade affirmation cards are still up for sale. Limited edition round. They're all different. And once again, links down below. I am courageous. I think this is a really good companion card for this reading, because it lets us know we are courageous. We are willing to step into the unknown. We are willing to make choices. We are willing because we are courageous. Because we're all awesome. So let your courage out. Let your courage come out. And let it deal with what it needs to deal with. Okay, let's do. Oh, my little. Oh, yeah, I didn't drop a card. But I did get my little thing. I got my pyramid today. I love this thing. I cannot tell you how much I love this thing. Okay. Simikitlo Sane Hinemelate Isnina Hotelta Hitchime Hekatro Hamo Hinecanisitro Iskitatro Hame Sinente Hote Meke Hello Sikariba Ho Hinosi Hosa nosa kitate hinose patotra. Hokatani. Hoknani. Sin na hokla. Yesa shona vishikatane he no sela he kodneno. He no nese kate dro. Jimi de la kadla. Jikitalo pitte. Jimikatate. Hikanose hisoniki ni. Ola pate. Hisko hananiso. Hasuniso hitamine. Hisotani hani huska. Huska meshka nika. Hefla kotaminini nilo. Hirha hach. Hoskin de po. Nikanigani sete porchi. Hera hich nami. Ochen de chura. Hen me kane hotra. Holche me kane sekalaningane. Esko circa meneni. O de hol. Show me kete le cosa kete teta. He me kanene skalanene. Himo hala sikota. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for being part of this. And you have a wonderful day, a wonderful full moon. Much love. Bye-bye.